controversial LEAP project. News 18's Ella Chu is live in the studio tonight with more on this. Hey, Ella.
Hey, Marley. Now, several showed up to ask questions of Mayor Gentry and address concerns in regards to the LEAP pipeline. And so far, Gentry has been supportive of this project in Boone County.
I'm not at all happy with this whole stinking situation.
So a couple points.
Mayor Gentry agreed to hear from the public and answer questions about the LEAP pipeline.
He's a very important player in this LEAP district. Much of the LEAP district has now been annexed to Lebanon.
Many are concerned about the impacts this project could have on local farms and the environment. People also spoke on their fears of transparency from government officials.
We wanted to understand what he thought about the various issues that we are concerned about. Lack of transparency, lack of accountability. What is the effect of the withdrawal of this large amount of water? Whether that affects his support for the project. I think we largely learned that it didn't.
On several occasions, Gentry's response was for questions to be directed to state legislatures.
What this is, a central entity deciding who will go where, how it'll get there, and very disruptive to people's lives.
Charles Bookwalter, a Boone County resident, questioned the clarity in those who knew of the project to when the public was finally informed.
For them to act like they didn't know what was coming is I think it's a little disingenuous. I understand this specific project, but I think it's a little disingenuous.
Bookwalter says people in Boone County have been fighting this project even longer than those in Tippecanoe County.
We were upset because the IEDC, the Indiana Economic Development Corporation, was coming in with taxpayer dollars and buying up 11,000 acres. So what we were saying is, no, you can't do this in Boone County, you can't do that in Tippecanoe County, you can't do it in Warren County or any of the other counties in Indiana. That's the problem. And
Jeff Finley was an oil driller for over 50 years. He spoke on the impacts of pollution.
You're pulling massive amounts of water. You can disturb that pollution and pull it up into wells and contaminate other areas. Now, will that happen? I don't know. I'm not trained in that. I do know that 100 million gallons a day of water withdrawal is an extreme amount.
Both Finley and Bookwalter say the constitutionality of this project is wrong. Gentry says the concept of moving water from Lafayette is not new and that he will side with economics. He says he has to look at the long-term investments in his community.
Still do admire him and thank him for his willingness to come up here today.
And Sanders says the goal of this meeting was to have a civilized conversation on those differing opinions and for both sides to see each other's perspectives. He credits the greater Lafayette community to what he says was a success. In the studio, Ella Chu, News 18.